Hi everybody, it's Richard here again and welcome to another video. Now today I'm going to look at some of my favourite CD compilation box sets. So these are not box sets of say 5 or 6 albums put together in one box. Although one you could nearly say is, but we'll come to that. And it's not a CD box of a specific album. For example, like the David Bowie Rock and Roll Star is all about Ziggy Stardust with about 5 CDs. These are actually compilation box sets, and I don't have that many. So I'm going to run through my top 10, and these are not necessarily my top 10 favourites in order, but I think I've put them in the order which I've listened to them the most and the least. So at the end will be the most listened to. And also then I'm going to show a box set where it has been relegated from a 12-inch box set down to a dual case fat box set, and I got the dual case one, the cheap one. So quite a few of these have actually been relegated because at the start they were either in books or the big 12-inch box. So at my number 10, and I think this is actually the first one I ever bought, but this one I haven't listened to that much, and it's Lou Reed, Between Thought and Expression. And this came out with a little booklet, and I'm not going to go through absolutely everything, but it's a little booklet with loads of information, and it's not a bad box set at all. It covers the period from the first Lou Reed album up to 1986, the what's it called, Mistrial album, and the CDs themselves are in nice jewel cases. It's only a 3 CD box set, but I remember getting this back I think in the early 90s, around 1992 or so, which it is very good, and the sound of it is very good, but I haven't played this in ages and it is rather dusty. Okay, number 9, or the next one up, and I got this in the 90s as well, and this is rather dusty as well, and it's the Who 30 Years of Maximum R&B, and it's the same type of box. This time there's 4 CDs, and you do get the booklet, which is rather thick, and you also get the CDs in dual cases as well. This is the box set that actually got me into the Who, because I bought this before I bought any other Who album, and all these songs are actually remixed, which I didn't realise at the time, but it is very good. And it starts off with just before the Who with I'm the Face, and it ends up with Saturday Night's Alright for Fighting, which is from about 1991, whenever the compilation album Two Rooms of Elton John and Bernie Taupin and the Who did Saturday Night's Alright for Fighting for that. But yeah, it's very good, but again I haven't played this in ages. Next up, and I thought I'd lost this, but I finally found it, and it's the Jam, and I get this right, Direction, Reaction, Creation, and this is supposed to feature every Jam recording during their lifetime, but it doesn't, because it doesn't have the B-side of The Modern World on it, which is Sweet Soul Music, Back in My Arms Again, and Bricks and Mortar. But it is very good. Now I bought this before I actually bought the Jam albums on CD, because they're all on this, but it really annoyed me where I've got this upside down. It really annoyed me because, for example, 2 albums on one disc, and sometimes an album stopped halfway through the album at the end of a disc and then started the other half on the next disc, and it really didn't like it at all, and I missed having the individual albums, so I ended up getting albums as well. But this is very good because what it does, it has most of the B-sides, all the A-sides, and then previously unreleased versions, which is disc 5, which is very, very good. So the Jam, Direction, Reaction, Creation, and I should put this the correct way up. It too has a book, and they're not in jewel cases if I can remember. Yeah, they're in these sort of little digipacks, which is not bad. Now I don't know if this has been relegated to a dual case fat box or not. I don't think it has, but this was one of my early albums as well. So the Jam and Direction, Reaction, Creation. Okay, next up, and we have Simon and Garfunkel, Old Friends, and this is very good too. Now I did have all the albums, but I still bought this because there's some songs that weren't on any of the LPs at the time. So we got a couple of Blues Run the Game. It was an outtake around the Sounds of Silence. Not that many outtakes, and it's a very, very good album, and it more or less covers everything. And this time it's one of those book covers, and it's a 3 CD set, and you just get nice pictures and info. Now this one has been relegated to a dual case fat box because I've seen it, which is a shame, because a box set should really be a box set, but that's another story. So Simon Garfunkel, Old Friends, very, very good, and I'm not too sure when that came out. I think it was the 90s as well. Okay, and next up is Nick Lowe and The Doings, another book set, and you get nice CDs, 4 CDs. One disc is of rare material, and the rest of it goes from So It Goes in 1976 to Dig My Mood in 1998. And yeah, it is very good. There's not an awful lot of rare tracks on the first 3 discs, but there's quite a few on disc 4. Yeah, love Nick Lowe, so it was played quite a bit, but it's still quite far down the list. Next up, and this is a smaller box, and it's the Antbox, and this is the big version because this got onto the dual case fat box as well, and this one is upside down too, so I'm going to change this around because it's rather annoying. Well, I'll do that in a minute. And what you get is you get another booklet, but it's a floppy booklet, and then the discs come in these single cards, and they're set inside the box. It's a really, really good box set. There's quite a few rarities on this, especially there's one track in particular, Manners and Physique, which was recorded a couple of years before the actual Manners and Physique album track, and it's completely different, and it is really, really good. And you do get some demos from the early years, like Lady and Catch a Falling Star, B-side Baby, which was then re-recorded for one of the later B-sides, and things like Fat Fun and Boiling the Bagman. So there is quite a few rarities on here. 3 discs. You also get a different version of Friend or Foe, which is quite good. Not as good as the original, but it was a contender to being released. So Antbox, excellent box set, which I played an awful lot whenever I got it. Okay, we're going down to the final 4 here, and Mark Bowen and T-Rex, 20th Century Superstar, and this covers the very, very start of Toby Tyler, the Rhode Island Gloria, right up to whenever he died. And yeah, superb box set. Sounds really, really good, and there's quite a few Tyrannosaurus Rex rarities in this, not so much the T-Rex ones, but the last track is Celebrate Summer, which was his last single. But yeah, a 4 CD box set, which is really, really good, and I think this has always remained in this format. I don't think it's been actually relegated as such. Next up is, if you have T-Rex, you have to have Slade, and this has been relegated to a fat box, and it's a 4D CD set as well. Same sort of thing, booklet and all the discs. And this starts off with Born to Be Wild and Roach Daddy from the beginnings of Slade, the Ambrose Slade album, and finishes with Universe, the very last single. And there's B-sides and there's LP tracks. Not so much rarities, but it's a really, really good comp. Yeah, love it. So that's the Slade box as 4 CD Anthology, 1969 to 1991. Okay, the second most played is ABBA, Thank You for the Music. And this is a 3-4 disc set, and basically this is just an anthology going through from the Ring Ring tracks up till Under Attack for the first 3 discs, and then you get the rarities on disc 4. Now this one might be falling apart a little bit. This has been played to death, so it has. There's an ABBA Undeleted melody in this, which has got on to different album box sets as a bonus. Yeah, it's very good, but it's annoying because there's a track just like that in the Undeleted, which I know has been finished, and I would love it to get a full release, but Benny will not do it. So you get on disc 4 things like Dream World, Hey Gamble Man, Merry Go Round, Santa Rosa, You Owe Me One, Slipping Through My Fingers, Stroke Me and I, which I think is a live effort. So very, very good, and you know, a wonderful collection of ABBA. But probably the most played CD box set, actually it's not. This is probably the least played CD box set, but the cassette version which I have is probably the most played box set I've ever owned, and it's the Bee Gees' Tales from the Brothers Gibb, and this is a 4 CD set, and I bought this cassette version thinking it was the CD version for £10 on the sale, and I got it home. I was so disappointed, but in those days I still had a cassette player in my car, and I wore those cassettes out. I still have that actual box set. I should have brought it in to show you. But it goes from New York Mine Disaster up to Spicks and Specks Live around 1989, and there's loads of brilliant 60s B-sides like Jumbo, the singer sang a song. There's one called Sir Geoffrey Saved the World, which is really, really good. Sun in My Morning, Barker of the UFO, brilliant, brilliant stuff. And I finally got the CD box set. It must have been about 15 years ago, and I think I've played it once or twice, but the cassette version is my most played. So that's the Bee Gees' Tales from the Brothers Gibb, A History in Song, 1967 to 1990. Now the only other one I think has been played more, and it is a CD fat box, and it's David Bowie, Sound and Vision. Now this is the 3rd issue of this. The first one came out in 1990, I believe, and it was 3 CDs and a video CD, and there's a little picture up here if I can put it. Then in 2003 it was expanded to take in a couple of extra albums, and I never bought it either, and it came out as like a book set, and I'll put a picture of it up. I don't know why I didn't buy it, but I didn't. And then this came out, and this is just your CD fat box, and it's a 4 CD set, and it's really, really good because there's loads of outtakes and so forth. And it's still not redundant, because there is one track in particular that has never got on to any of the reissue albums, and it's After Today from the Young Americans sessions. It's still on this, but it's never been put on any of the Young Americans reissues, so it's good to have. So this is probably the most played of the lot, but I didn't want to include it in those 10 because it is a 3rd issue, and it is the wee small CD fat box. Okay, so there's 10 of my CD box sets. I don't have many other ones that are actual compilations. I do have the 3 Elvis Presley ones, which I bought off a friend. Never played them. Played bits and pieces, but never really played them. So I hope you enjoyed that, and that's me for now, and I hope to have another video quite soon. All the best now. Bye bye.